Today we are going to talk about discussion. First, we start with today's our agenda. Our agenda today. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Okay. Today's agenda. We are going to talk about an icebreaker, a quiz at first, discuss the tasks and the other micro teaching, and the last one is an action plan. Let's start with the first one. We are going to talk about an icebreaker, guess the missing number. I'll give you a chance to think of this quiz and try to think of what is the correct number. I give you a chance. I can take the answer at the end of the session. If 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 10, 4 plus 4 is 18, 5 plus 5 is 28, 6 plus 6 is 40, then 8 plus 8 is what? You have the time until the end of the session, inshallah. Let's start with the first one. The first task, match the thinking skill with the questions. We have some thinking skills. We can match them with the questions. The first one is creating. The second is analyzing. The third is remembering, understanding, applying, and the last one is evaluating. We have some questions. The first one, what did it happen that way? Why? Can you think of a different ending? What would you have done? Which part did you like best? And what happened in the story? And the last one, what did you think of the story and why? These are the questions. And try to think, what is the thinking skill which related to the question? I give you 2 minutes to think. Please think clearly and try to guess the meaning. Why did it happen that way? Which one of these thinking skills? Who can give me answer? Who can? The first one is
understanding.
Okay. What's about number 2?
Analyzing.
Number 2, analyzing.
Creating.
Can you think this is creating? Okay. What else? Number 3. What would you have done?
I think it's analyzing.
You think it's analyzing.
I think it's applying.
Applying. We can. I agree with Mr. Said. It's applying. What about number 4? Number 4 is
evaluating.
Evaluating. Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's take the answer at the end. What about number 5? Number 5.
Remembering.
Number 5 is remembering. Okay. What about number 6? Number 6. Number 6.
I think 6 is evaluating, but 4 is applying. Analyzing. 4 is analyzing, 6 evaluating.
Okay, let's check your answer. Number 1 is understanding. Number 2, creating. Number 3 is applying. Number 4 is analyzing. Number 5 is remembering, and the last one is evaluating. Okay, let's go to about the second task. Understanding thinking skills. The first question, read this conversation and answer the questions. This is a conversation. Please, I give you 1 minute only to read this question quickly and try to answer these questions. These are the questions. What techniques does this teacher use to set up the activity? This is number one. Number two, which structures does she introduce? Number three, how does this activity involve thinking skills? The first question, what techniques does this teacher use to set up this activity? What techniques does he use? Who can give me his idea? What do you think? How can he start this conversation? How can he encourage pupils or learners to participate in this conversation? Who can give us his idea or her idea about this conversation? What technique? How did he start?
She started with questions. هو طول عابد.
He started with a question. Okay. He or she, I think so.
Okay.
She started with a question. This is a simple question.
Yes.
Related to the learners. She asks them about how tall is he, and she go from low
tall
to high order thinking skills, and make a what is the structure? Does
comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives.
He used a comparison, or he make a comparative between the learners. He make a comparative. He use a comparative adjectives to make between two learners. How does this activity involve thinking skills? How can
remember and applying?
Okay, they are remembered about themselves. They talk about themselves.
Then
and try to create and apply sentences about others. I think so. In my opinion, I think so. They can talk about themselves. They can make a comparison between pupils and each other, and ask them to make a complex sentence. I think so. Okay. Today we have some activities. There are some activities. Today I choose some activities from different countries to encourage others to use these activities in your classes. Some teachers think that we don't have facilities or equipment to do these activities in our classes, but I think so we can do it according to our equipment. The first one, please listen to this activity and try to think, what is this game called? What is the aim of this activity? How can you use it in your class? Please listen to it carefully and think of these questions. Please.
See how well students remember words learnt in previous lessons is to do a memory game such as Run to the Board. This game will really activate your students' brains as they'll need to recall previously learnt words from memory. Step 1. Split students into 2 teams and give each team a different colour whiteboard pen. Step 2. Divide the board into 2 halves, 1 for each team. Step 3. Give students a topic that they have learnt in a previous lesson. For example, holidays.
Holiday. Holiday. What holiday can play? Holidays.
Step 4. Instruct students that in their teams they must take it in turns to run up to the board and write a word that is related to holidays. For example, sun cream. Only 1 word per person.
3 minutes starting now.
Step 5. Once one person has written a word, they must give the pen to the next player, who must run up to the board.
Doing very well so far. Okay, 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Only one word per person. Only one word per person. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stop!
Step 6. After 3 minutes, count up the words and the team with the most words wins.
Okay, well done. So there's lots of words, and some people thought sunny summer holidays, and other people were thinking about Christmas holidays, which is fine. So let's count up the words. 1, 2, 3, 17, 18, 19, trips, 20. So that's souvenirs, so that's a repeat, because you had that one twice. Oh, I've lost count now. 17, 17, snowboard, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21 for team 2. So team 1, well done! Yay!
This game works well at the start of a lesson to test how much students remember from a previous.
Okay. What is this game called, or what is this activity called?
Word memory.
This is memory game.
Okay.
Memory game. It's a memory game. It's kind of memory game. What is it called? Do you think what is it called? I think it's one of a memory game. I think
Word memory.
it means run to the board. This game, it means run to the board.
Run to the board.
Run to the board. But what is the aim of this activity?
Can I speak?
Oh, go on, Miss Wala.
It can improve it can improve people's brain functions, attention, concentration, focus. It gives them a space to improve their critical thinking and help them to give their attention. It can improve visual recognition, concentration.
Okay, thank you, Miss Wala. Is there an idea, Miss Rahab?
Yes.
Go on, Miss Rahab. We wait.
Okay. This activity is very useful for writing exercises or writing tasks, as it improves their spelling and writing words and enrich their vocabulary.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sahar. Is there an idea? Is there an idea? What are steps does this teacher use? What steps? Go on, Ms. Sahab. You raise your hand. Go on. We can hear you.
Okay, Mr.
Go on. The steps.
First, she divided the class into 2 teams with the different colored pens.
Okay.
Then she divided the boards into 2 parts. Then she used a topic from previous lesson. She asked the pupils to write words that related with this word with a certain time.
Okay.
When the time ended, she counted the words, and the team with the more words is the winner.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Had. Thank you so much. Thank you today. How can we use it in the class? Can you use it in the class? Can you use it in the class?
Easy.
Of course.
Yes.
I think it's very simple. It's very simple.
Simple, yes.
We can use it in the class, and we can use it to encourage students or pupils to participate. What about the second activity? This is activity. Please, what is the activity called? What is the aim of this activity? And the last one, how can we use it in the class? Wait. What is this? 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 Bread. What is this? Now let's start it. Have you good water? Yes, I have. Have you good lemonade? Have you good roast beef? Have you good orange juice? Have you good chicken soup? Have you good water? No, I haven't. Have you good chicken soup? Yes, I have. Have you good water? No, I haven't. Have you good lemonade?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. Have you good chicken soup? Yes, I have. Have you good water? Have you good orange juice? No, I have. Now let's start our game. Now come you. Okay. Choose one. Okay. Let's start. Hayat asks, the son answers, and we turn. The son asks, and the Hayat answers. Start Hayat.
Have you good coffee? No, haven't.
No, I haven't. Huh?
Have you got orange juice? No, I haven't. Have you got roast turkey? Yes, I have.
Yes, sir. Good. Clever answer for them. Okay. What is this activity called? Do you have an idea about this activity? Who can speak?
I think it's called the back-to-back.
Okay, Mr. Said. I'm happy to hear your voice today. It's called back-to-back. What is the aim of this activity? What is the aim of this activity? Ms. Nihad, can you speak? All of us are muted. Ms. Sahar, what is the aim of this activity?
Sorry, Mr. AbdulWahab, the video has cut down. I have a problem.
Don't worry. Who can? Mr. Said, Mr. Hab.
I think it helps students to work in pairs, asking and answering each other.
It helps students to ask each other. And what is the structure? Does this activity?
Yes, no questions. They practice.
No question.
Yes, no question.
The question starts with have you got? Have you got?
Yes. And
we use some kinds of food. We can answer yes, I have, or no, no, I haven't. This is called back-to-back question, back-to-back activity. I think it's very simple activity. We can use it in your class. Do you like this activity?
Yes, it's very nice.
Thank you, Ms. Rahab.
Go on, Ms. Rahab. It's a creative way to revise words and structure.
Okay, I agree with you. It helps people to memorize the words, and we can use them in questions, in a simple question, and it can help shy learners to speak. Let's go to the third one. The third one, this is activity. What is this activity called? What is the aim of this activity, and how can we use it in the class? Please listen to it and watch it carefully and try to think, how can we start this? How can we use it in the class? This is a different.
What's your name?
My name is Harsha.
Okay, now you have to ask the same question to him. Okay.
What is your name? My name is Guru.
Okay.
What is your name? My name is Jyoti Sanjay.
What's your name?
What is your name? My name is Mahindra Anand. What is your name? My name is Divya Sanjay.
How old are you?
I am 10.
Okay, ask him the same question.
How old are you? I am 10.
Good.
How old are
You.
Are you? I am 10.
Good. How old?
How old are you?
Good.
I am 10.
Very good.
How
Old are you?
are you? I am 8.
Okay, what is this activity called?
Yes, this is a chain drill. Chain drill.
Okay, you are ready, Mr. Said. I hope.
Yes, I like this activity very much. I always practice it in the classroom.
Okay.
And it's very nice, and it creates a good atmosphere.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Said. You talk about it the last session.
Yes.
I searched for it and try to find it.
Thank you, Mr. AbdulWahab.
Thank you, Mr. Said. I hope this activity very much. Is there any idea about it? What is the aim of this activity? Please, Mr. Said, don't speak. I want another person to share us his idea about it.
Okay.
What do you think, Mr. Ahmed Sami, Mr. Ashraf Imam? Are you ready, Mr. Ashraf Yusuf? I want to hear another person. Please share us. We don't have much time or much sessions. We have only 2 sessions.
Okay, Mr.
Go on, Ms. Sahar. Please give me 1 minute, Ms. Sahar. I hope to hear your voice, but give a chance to another person to participate, please. Mr. Ahmed Sami, Ms. Amira, is there an idea who can give us his opinion about this activity? What is the aim of this activity? How can we use it in your class? Is there an idea? Other participant? Is there anyone can share us his idea? Or there is no one. I am so. Okay, go on, Ms. Sahar. Go on, Ms. Sahar.
Okay, I think the main aim of this activity is okay, Mr. AbdulWahab. I think the main aim of this activity is improving speaking skills for the learners and encouraging shy students or slow learners to participate effectively in the classroom.
Okay, I agree with you, Ms. Sahar. If you look about 3 activities, what is the difference and what is the same between these activities? What is the difference between them and what is the same thing in these activities? What is the difference at first? What is the difference between these 3 activities? I share with you. The first one and the second and the third. What is the difference between them?
I think the first one concentrates mainly on writing and memorizing words.
Okay. The second?
The second, I didn't watch it completely, sorry.
Okay, Ms. Sahar. Okay.
The third one, I think third one concentrates on speaking and interactive skills.
Okay.
To the students. And it is good, it is maybe very useful for teaching students some structured sentences or structured topics. We can give them an example for any sentence or for tense, and they can repeat it. So they can comprehend the rule or the grammar easily.
Okay. I think from my opinion, when I choose these activities, I choose different activities from different atmospheres, from different environments to encourage us to use any activity and try to submit your activity which is suitable to your environment or your atmosphere. The first one, I think it's in Europe. The second, I think it's in Africa. The third, it's in India. I think so. It's in Asia. And they are in different they are in different. I choose three activities to explain that in different environment, in different atmosphere, we can use activity suitable to your pupils. And the last one, I think that there are any facilities or equipments. They are sitting on the ground. The last one you can see they are sitting in the ground. But the teacher try to teach, try to learn, try to help the learners to speak and use their language. This is in my opinion. Do you agree? Do you agree with me? I think so.
Yes, yes.
Are you agree with me?
Yes.
I choose 3 different to explain that. Now let's talk about the other one. How would you let them use their higher order thinking skills after finishing the story? This is a story. Any pupils in the book? How can we help the students to use higher order thinking skills? Do you watch it clearly? Is it clear for you?
No, it's not clean.
Try, Mr. Said. I do my best to get the picture like this.
The picture number 1, I think it's in a park or a park.
Okay, I am in the park. I have some trash.
Putting the
What should
letter
I
in the
do?
bin.
Okay, try to enlist the sentences from the picture if you watch the picture clearly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The picture is clear, but the writing is not clear. Yes.
Okay.
The second one, I think.
If I like a flower in the park, I can what?
Yes.
I can
smell it.
Smell it or take a picture of it or pick it.
Yes.
He give you 3 choose.
Smell it.
These are. This is a story about.
Smell it or take picture.
This is a story about Hani and Hannah. We are
Yes,
in the park. How can this story or help the learners their high order thinking skills? In your opinion?
Yes. Okay, Mr.
Okay, Ms. Sahar, we hear your voice today.
We can use this. Okay, we can use these pictures to encourage analyzing and higher thinking skills. We can ask students, if you are Hani, what would you do?
Okay.
As for the trash, or they can give us solutions from their point of view, and we can analyze them or criticize them, let's say the good ones and the bad ones, and it gives them some opportunities to think freely or to use their critical thinking.
Okay.
The second one.
Okay. Go on, Ms.
Okay. Okay. Second one, as for the flowers, how we can protect our public properties and our country as well. We can learn them not to destroy or damage our country or our properties using this picture and applying or reflecting on other things or other places like schools, hospitals, and something like that.
Okay, thank you, Musahar. Thank you very, very, very much. Is there an idea? Is there anyone can give us his idea or her idea? I agree with you. Okay.
I have some ideas.
Go on, Ms. Sahar. We hear your voice a lot
of
today.
the language, thank you. If you talk about language, we can use the same sentences, but for another ideas. We can help or improve their writing or imagination skills here. We can ask them to give us another story, similar story, but changing some words. For example, instead of rabbit, we can use something else.
Excellent, Ms. Sahar. I ask them to create story.
Yes, create another.
To create.
We can use this. We can use this pictures and story, Mr. Abdulwahab, as a scaffold to build on another story or another situation.
Ask them to build a story or to create a story. And what do you think of them? And you use their critical thinking to think. How can we deal with trash in the park? And how can we deal with flowers? How can we use flowers? And how can we protect the park from trash and the pupils who can damage it? Thank you, Ms. Sahar.
This as for thinking skills, thinking
Okay.
as thinking itself. But if we talked about language, we can use it as a, as I said, as a scaffold to build on. Yeah. For example, Hannah are now in a park and she liked the flower. She wanted to pick it up. So we can put Hannah in another situation. For example, she is in a museum. She liked a picture or liked a statue. And something like that, we can so on. Students can build another story up in the museum or in a.
Okay. We are going to talk about creating stories. Creating,
yes, creating stories. Yes.
Using other places.
Yes.
Okay. Using other places. Okay. What about the second one? Which activity would you rather use with primary two to teach them the bird's life cycle and why? This is the bird's life cycle. How can we teach this cycle of life? How can you deal with this lesson? Is there an idea? Who can speak? Who can? What activity do you use? What equipments? What facilities? What materials do you use? What materials do you use to help pupils or learners to teach the bird's life? Is there an idea?
Can use picture cards. We can use an egg to show the baby bird.
You means we can use realia. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Real objects.
Okay. You can use realia like an egg. Can you?
Yes, and a nest.
Okay. And you can use cards.
Yes.
Okay. Is there an idea?
Yes, I think we can teach them bird's life cycle in a chain. First, we can throw an egg in the nest, then an arrow. What after egg? What is after egg? Yes, and so on, like in a chain. Or we can use mind maps. I think it could be useful here.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sahar. Thank you, Ms. Sahar. Is there an idea? Mr. Ahmed Mahdi, we can't hear your voice today. Ms. Nahad, can we hear you today? Is there an idea? Mr. Ashraf Al-Imam, are you ready? Mr. Ahmed Sami, are you cold today? Do you have flu today? I want to hear other ideas. Some participants only who can speak with me. I want another ideas. We learn from each other. I don't use today much slides to help each other to speak and participate. Okay, let's go to the last one. We have only 4 minutes. Say 3 interesting points you learned in this workshop. Is it important to use thinking skills and why? Are there any activities which you usually like to use with your learners and points to improve for me? Let's start with the first one. Say 3 interesting points you learned in this workshop. Who can give us his idea? What do you learn from this workshop? This is a quiz, but different. I think so. I have attended some sessions in the last month, and at the beginning of this month, all of them have a quiz after each one, and they give you some questions, but in a survey. But this quiz, it's simple. I want to hear you and you hear me. Okay, say 3 interesting points you learned in this workshop. Who can speak? Mr. Ahmed Mahdi, we don't hear your voice today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go on, Mr. Ahmed.
Yes,
what are the interesting
we talk about critical thinking, creating analysis, remembering and applying, evaluation. Also talk about techniques of teaching games, run to
Run to the
Run
board.
to the board. Run to the board. Back to
and
back.
chain drill.
Changing drill.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Is it important to you thinking skills? What's your opinion? What's your opinion? Ahead, we want to hear your voice today. Is it important to you thinking skills? Miss Wala, I think you are out. And Mr. Said. Who can? We don't have much time. We have only 1 minute.
Abdulwahab, I think it's important to use thinking skills. I think it's an essential, it's a must now to use this skill.
Okay, Miss Sahar, I agree with you. Think skills is very, very important. It helps learners, especially nowadays. We must use them. I have attended many sessions or many trains. The last month, all of them talking about thinking skills and how can we use online teaching, online learning. It's very, very important. And how can we assist the learners use many sites. Inshallah, in the next session, we are going to talk about some of them. And I give you some puzzles. I do it, or some games. I do it. We can encourage us to use them. I hope so, inshallah. What are there any activity which usually you like to use? We don't have much time. Please. To improve, say,
I think I like them all.
You like them all. Thank you, Mr. Sahar. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you. I thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Have a nice time. Thank you all. We don't have much time. I think it's out. Thank you others. I want to hear your voice today, but I have something to tell you about